Welcome to the Strategic Pursuit Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Macias, and today I want to talk about communication between the office and the field and what that actually looks like. Because the office and the field are looking at the same business from two very different angles, the office is often thinking about customer scheduling, invoices, payroll, material, and honestly, the next job. It's completely different with the field, right? The field is thinking about the actual site, the conditions that are in front of them. These guys they're working, they're hands-on and almost in a flow state. The work that's being performed is something that's going to be top of mind. Sometimes you got safety, tools, quality, and what is realistically possible for that day. This is what they actually need to be thinking about. But neither side is automatically right or wrong. They simply have different information, right? The office may have the original scope, but the field sees what is actually happening on the field, and that could look completely different. The field sees a problem immediately, but the office needs that information to update the customer. Lost in translation, right? The schedule, the estimate, or the invoice, that all is part of this system. When the information does not move properly, somebody's going to get frustrated. That's the truth. A missed update can become a missed appointment with the client. A missing job note can become a call back, right? A verbal change can become a dispute. If your techs upload photos into the system, one of those missing photos, it can make it difficult to explain what happened to the client from the office side. And delayed material requests can honestly leave a crew standing around instead of producing work. That's a big concern. That's why communication is not just about being polite or staying in touch, right? It's the operating process. It affects the time, the quality, the customer experience, and the profitability. What I'm learning is a good communication system answers three questions. What information needs to be shared? Who is responsible for sharing it? And where does it get recorded? One detail is in a text message, another is in an email, another is in someone's memory, and it's just chaos, right? A simple rule that I'm learning is that if you would want proof that the message was sent, received, or approved, it has to be documented. It's all word of mouth at that point, and it's going to cause that same type of chaos you don't want. All of these things should be documented in the company system. That includes schedule change orders, material requests, customer approvals, site conditions, and important job decisions. The business needs one place where the current job information lives, everybody can refer back to. That could be a field service platform, right? There are many out there. Project management system. Again, a lot of tools like this are out there for all trades. The specific software matters less than the actual behavior. You can have the system, but if you're not using it, then what is it good for? If you don't learn it, then what is it good for? Nothing translates. The point is the job has to have one record. The record should include the scope, the schedule, assigned crew, photos, notes, customer communication, change approvals, closeout information, all of it, right? That way, when someone asks what happened, the answer doesn't go and depend on finding the right text message, text thread, or calling the owner, right? It's all in the system, the core process. Another point is communication can't only be the office telling the field what to do, right? The field needs a simple way to report these delays, site conditions, missing material, site concerns, additional work that can be quoted, customer requests, completed work, and anything that could affect the cost or the schedule. The office then has a responsibility to act on that information. It's a two-way street. A message is not really part of the system just because it was sent, right? It becomes useful when you receive it, you understand it, and then it's connected to the next action. That is why the confirmation matters, right? The office needs to know that the crew saw a schedule change. The field may need confirmation that the material request was ordered. They may be waiting on site for that material. The customer may need written approval before extra work begins. It's all part of the process. A simple rhythm that can prevent a lot of confusion is before the day begins, the office sends or confirms the schedule, address, scope, materials, special instructions for the tech. During the job, the field sends an update when the work is complete. Not just complete, but is there delays? Are they blocked in some form or fashion? Or did something need to change from the original plan? Right? At the end of the day, the crew submits those photos, notes, time, material, and any follow-ups required for the client. The office reviews that information, updates the customer, adjusts the schedule, and makes sure the job is ready for invoicing or the next phase. That's how communication becomes a process instead of just a series of interruptions. If the office and the field are not communicating well, that may be a problem. You'll start to blame people, right? Ask where the information is getting lost. Which messages are still verbal? And what does the field need before they actually start? What does the office need before closing the job? Who owns the next step? Who is in that position? And what is the one place where the current information should live? Create a path that information travels before assuming that the people are the entire problem. We love playing the blame game. That is what I'm learning about communication between the office and the field. The goal is not to create more messages. The goal is to create a better information flow. The right person needs the right information at the right time and in the right place where it can be found later. When that happens, the office has better visibility. The field has better direction. Customers receive better communication. And the business has preventable surprises. Thanks for listening to the Strategic Pursuit podcast. I'll see you guys on the next one.